Most people over 60 check the calories, maybe the sugar, and move on. But if your kidneys are even slightly stressed, and after 60, many are, those are not the numbers that matter most. The ones that matter are hiding further down the label, behind names most people have never heard of, and some of them are in foods you buy every single week. By the end of this video, you will have a simple 30-second label check system you can use the next time you are in that aisle. 5 things. 1 quick scan, and one of them, I want you to stay for, because it is the one even careful label readers miss almost every time. I'm Grace Wells, kidney and diabetes health educator for older adults. And we are going to start not with sodium, but with the one number that makes every other number on that label either honest or completely misleading. Serving size. It sounds so basic, but this is where the label quietly works against you. And it does it to almost everyone every single day. Here is what happens. You pick up a can of soup. You look at the sodium. It says 480 milligrams. That feels acceptable. You put it in your cart, you go home, you open the can, you eat it, and you have just had 960 milligrams of sodium, because that can have 2 servings listed, and you ate both, which is what almost everyone does with a can of soup. The serving size on that label was not describing what you would actually eat. It was describing a portion most people never stop at. This happens with crackers, with frozen meals that look like one meal but are listed as 1.5 servings, with pasta sauces, with bread, with protein bars. The serving size is the lens through which every other number must be read. Skip it, and every number after it is wrong. So the first habit, before sodium, before potassium, before anything, look at serving size. Ask yourself, is this actually how much I would eat? If not, do the math, because everything else on that label changes with it. Now, sodium. Most people in this audience are already watching sodium, and that awareness matters. For older adults with kidney concerns, high blood pressure, or early-stage kidney decline, sodium is genuinely important. But the label cannot tell you your personal daily target. That depends on your lab results, your blood pressure, and what your doctor has discussed with you. Some seniors are managing closer to 1,500 milligrams a day. Others have more flexibility. Only your care team can tell you your number. What the label can tell you is whether one product is quietly using up most of your daily budget in a single sitting. And the foods that surprise people are never the obvious salty snacks. It is the bread, the deli meat, the canned soup, and the jarred pasta sauce. Everyday foods, comfortable foods, foods that have been in the kitchen for years without anyone questioning them. One slice of certain breads can carry over 200 milligrams of sodium. 2 slices for a sandwich, add a few slices of deli turkey, which can carry 300 to 500 milligrams per serving depending on the brand. And you have already crossed 1,000 milligrams before anything else touches the plate. Not because you made a careless choice, because the sodium was spread across familiar foods and added up quietly. With sodium, the habit is this: serving size first, then sodium per serving, then ask honestly, does this fit into my day, or is it taking more than I expected? Now here is where we get into something most seniors have never been told. And this one is specific to kidney health in a way that almost nothing else is. Phosphorus additives. When your kidneys are healthy, they filter excess phosphorus out of your blood efficiently. But as kidney function declines, and for many older adults, GFR numbers do drop with age, the kidneys have a harder time managing phosphorus. When phosphorus builds up over time, it can affect bone health, heart health, and how you feel day to day. This is well documented, and your doctor may or may not have raised it yet, depending on your stage and your most recent labs. Here is what the grocery store does not make easy. Phosphorus is not always listed by name on the nutrition facts panel, and there are 2 very different types of phosphorus in food, and your body treats them completely differently. Natural phosphorus, the kind in whole foods like beans, nuts, dairy, is only partially absorbed. Your digestive system does not take all of it in. But phosphorus that is added to food as a preservative or additive, that is a different story entirely. Added phosphorus from additives is absorbed far more readily. Some research suggests close to 100% absorption, and it is in far more packaged foods than most people realize. How do you find it? You go to the ingredients list, not the nutrition facts, the ingredients list, and you look for anything with the letters PHOS, phosphoric acid, sodium phosphate, decalcium phosphate, disodium phosphate, tricalcium phosphate. These are all added phosphorus. They show up in processed meats, in some canned drinks, in packaged baked goods, in frozen meals, in certain cheeses. They are everywhere in processed food because phosphorus additives preserve freshness, improve texture, and extend shelf life. You do not need to memorize the full chemical names. You just need those 4 letters. PHOS. If you see them in the ingredients list, that product contains added phosphorus, and you can decide whether it belongs in your cart. If your doctor has mentioned watching your phosphorus, or if your kidney function has been showing decline, this habit alone is worth the time it took to watch this video. If your kidneys are still in a healthy range and no one has raised the issue, you may not need to be as strict. But knowing this exists, knowing how to spot it, that information belongs in your hands. If this is the first time someone has explained this clearly, share this video with the person who reads labels in your house, because this is exactly the kind of detail that gets lost in a 15-minute appointment. The next one confuses a lot of people, including people who are already trying to be careful. Potassium chloride. You may have heard that people with kidney disease sometimes need to watch potassium. Healthy kidneys regulate potassium levels in the blood steadily. When kidney function is reduced, potassium can accumulate. And elevated potassium in the blood is something that needs to be managed carefully because of what it can do to heart rhythm. Your doctor and your lab results are the guide for whether this applies to you personally. But here is the problem at the grocery store. Many products labeled low sodium or heart healthy use potassium chloride as a salt substitute. It mimics a salty taste while cutting the sodium number. On the surface, that sounds like a smart choice, and for many people, it may be. But for someone whose kidneys are struggling to handle potassium, a low-sodium product that replaces salt with potassium chloride can add a potassium load the kidneys were not prepared for. You will find potassium chloride in low-sodium soups, in some bread products, in low-sodium crackers, in seasoning blends, in certain packaged meats. It is becoming more common as manufacturers respond to demand for lower sodium options, which is well-intentioned. But it means that low sodium does not automatically mean kidney-friendly. Not for everyone. Not at every stage. The habit here: when you are buying anything labeled low sodium or reduced sodium, check the ingredients list. If you see potassium chloride, that is information worth noting and worth discussing with your care team if potassium is something you are monitoring. This does not mean panic, it means pay attention. There is a real difference between those two things. Now, added sugar. For seniors managing kidney concerns alongside diabetes, which is one of the most common combinations in this age group, added sugar carries a double weight on the label. Unmanaged blood sugar over time is one of the leading drivers of kidney damage. And even for seniors without a diabetes diagnosis, blood sugar management becomes more important as we age because insulin sensitivity naturally changes after 60. The Nutrition Facts panel now includes a specific line for added sugars, separate from total sugars. Total sugars includes what occurs naturally in the food, like the sugar in fruit or milk. Added sugars are what was put in during processing: table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, honey, cane juice, agave, and dozens of other names that mean the same thing. For kidney health and blood sugar management together, the added sugars line is the one that matters most. And where does it hide in ways that genuinely surprise people? Bread, pasta sauce, salad dressing, flavored yogurt, granola, protein bars, flavored oatmeal, foods with a health reputation, foods that feel like smart choices. A single serving of some flavored yogurts can carry 15 to 20 grams of added sugar. A packet of flavored instant oatmeal can have 12 grams. These are not desserts. They are what many seniors eat for breakfast. And for someone managing blood sugar alongside kidney health, that sugar is not neutral. It adds up in ways that affect both conditions over time. The habit, look at the added sugars line specifically, not total sugars, added sugars, and always read it through the serving size lens first. Stay with me for this last one because it is the most nuanced, and it is the one kidney health research has shifted on significantly in recent years. Protein. For most of our lives, we were told protein is simply good. Eat more protein, build muscle, stay strong. And that is not wrong, especially after 60, when muscle loss becomes a real concern and adequate protein genuinely supports muscle maintenance. But for kidneys that are not functioning at full capacity, protein creates a byproduct called urea that the kidneys have to filter out. And when kidneys are already under strain, very high protein intake can add to that burden. Here is the nuance that matters. Current research has moved away from blanket low-protein advice for all kidney patients. That is no longer considered appropriate across the board. The right protein level depends on your individual kidney function, your GFR, your stage, your muscle mass, whether you are on dialysis or not. What is right for one senior may be too high or unnecessarily low for another. What does this mean when you are standing in the store? It means that protein bars and protein shakes and high-protein frozen meals marketed to older adults deserve a second look. Not because protein is the enemy, but because high-protein products can push daily intake significantly higher than you realize. And for some seniors with reduced kidney function, more is not better without knowing your personal target first. If your doctor or dietitian has given you a specific protein goal, the grams per serving on the label is your tool. Use it. If no one has had that conversation with you yet, and honestly, many seniors have not had it, it may be worth asking at your next visit. Simply say, given my current kidney labs, is there a protein range I should be aiming for? That question is worth asking out loud. Now let's bring this all together into something you can actually use. Your 30-second label check. 5 things. You can run through this while you are holding the product in the aisle. First, serving size. Is this the amount I would actually eat? If not, adjust every number on the label accordingly. Second, sodium per serving. How much, and does it fit my daily picture? Third, ingredients list. Scan for PHOS. Anything with those 4 letters means added phosphorus. Fourth, ingredients list again, especially on low sodium products. Does it say potassium chloride? Fifth, added sugars line. Not total sugars, added sugars. And always read it through the serving size lens. Protein is a longer conversation with your care team rather than a quick label scan. But if you have a target, it belongs in your checklist too. 5 steps, 30 seconds. You do not need to memorize everything about kidney nutrition today. You just need to know where to look, and now you do. The grocery store is not your enemy. Food is not your enemy. The goal of everything in this video is not to make you afraid of what is on the shelf. It is to give you the kind of clear, grounded information that helps you make confident choices. Choices that support your kidneys without turning every meal into a source of anxiety. The seniors who do best with kidney health are not the ones who eat perfectly. They are the ones who stay informed, Ask better questions at their appointments and make steady, practical adjustments over time. If someone else does the grocery shopping in your home, a spouse, a child, a caregiver, please share this video with them. Because this information is only useful if it reaches the hands actually holding the packages in the store. Leave a comment below and tell me, what food label confuses you the most? Is it the phosphorus additives? The potassium chloride hiding in low-sodium products? Something on the protein side? Your comment might be exactly what helps another senior realize they are not the only one trying to figure this out. A quick but important note before you go. Everything shared here is for education and general awareness. It is not a substitute for the guidance of your doctor, your nephrologist, or your registered dietitian. Lab values, kidney stage, medications, and individual health history all affect what is right for you specifically. If something in this video raised a question, write it down and bring it to your next appointment. You deserve real answers for your specific situation. If this is the kind of clear, calm kidney health guidance you wish someone had given you sooner, you may want to stay with this channel. I make these videos for exactly this audience. Older adults who want real information explained in a way that actually fits into daily life. Subscribe if that sounds like something that would serve you, and I will see you in the next one.